Already. Hi everyone.
Hi.
Um, this is Nicolas, who's in Toronto right now.
Yeah.
I'm Ash, and this is VanHack webinar. We're going to talk to Nicolas about his life and being in Toronto. And I know there's going to be lots of questions, so I'm not going to be able to type, but we'll have a quick conversation, and Ilya will be joining us in a little while. And there's lots of people. There's some people from where is everyone joining us from? Come on, type in the chat. Where are you from? Oh, I'm typing as Nicolas, but yeah.
I see.
Sao Paulo, New Jersey. Wow, cool. Liberia. Ooh, really? That's cool. First time I've ever seen somebody from Liberia. Toronto, Rio de Janeiro, Southern Brazil, Goiás. Where is Nicolas from? Can you guess where Nicolas is from? Nicolas, what's your full name?
My name is Nicolas Nisto. I'm from Argentina.
Yeah, that's right. Nicolas is from Argentina. I know that everyone is super happy about that. Lots of Brazilian VanHackers. Definitely great soccer teams on both sides of the border.
Yeah.
There's also people from Venezuela. Cool. So, Nicolas, we're going to ask you a few questions about your story.
Okay.
And then maybe we'll go into some conversations where you can give some of the VanHackers some advice about their job search, and also you've been now in Toronto for how long?
A month now. So
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm new to
You're still
Toronto.
new.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were born in Argentina?
Yeah. I was born in Argentina, in Buenos Aires.
Okay, and you lived there for?
I lived there for 26 years. So in Argentina, I moved to another town when I was little. I grew up in Mar del Plata, which is a beach town near Buenos Aires.
Okay, Mar del Plata?
Yes. Then moved to Tandil, which is another town, to study. I studied computer science. I got my bachelor's in UNICEN, which is a public college in Argentina.
Okay. Was it 3 years or 4 year degree?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
The
long.
bachelor's 5 years in Argentina?
Yeah, it's long.
Do you work as well when you're doing your bachelor's?
Yeah, I started working a year before I finished my degree.
Okay.
So
cool. And you started working when you were 20...
23.
So that's 4 years ago?
Yeah, 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago.
And what was your job? What was your focus the last 4 years?
Tandil is known for it's this big university and lots of people that that study computer science. So there are a lot of tech companies in that town, and that's great because you can study and work in the field and really learn from that. So my first job was at Globant, which is this big service company from Argentina, which actually is a publicly traded company. New York Stock Exchange. I worked there for a couple months, then went on my own to do some freelance for a couple months, and then got a job for a startup in Tandil.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were working, all the jobs were in Spanish, like the language?
Yeah, all the jobs are in Spanish, but most of the times clients are overseas, so you need to speak in English or like document in English. You have teammates that maybe not all the teammates were in Argentina, so sometimes we need to speak with teammates and clients in English. So yeah, that helped a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I started working at this startup in Tandil, which really helped me grow, like the startup environment, the long hours, long weekends, like
No personal life.
yeah, exactly. You learn a lot there. Like it was this tight group. We were 4 developers working crazy hours and doing basically the impossible. So
what was this technology stack and what was the product you were building?
we were building an app for which was the pitch was that it was that it was an app for like a reverse Amazon. So the idea was for you to take a picture of any item that you have laying around in your house, and we gave you a price on that item. Go to your house, pick it up, and sell it, and give you the money. So you didn't have to do anything; just take a picture, and that was it. When you wanted to sell stuff, we operated in the United States. We got the company was part of Techstars.
Oh yeah, same as VanHack.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So yeah, we had great investors, great advisors that also brought me into this startup world.
And were you? Did you go to a Techstars location somewhere?
So I joined just after the Techstars program ended, so I missed that.
So you weren't one of the founders. You were one of the early stage employees.
Yeah, I was the 5th employee, something like that.
Okay, and how long did you work there?
For 4 years.
You worked in that company for 4 years?
Yeah, or 3.5 years.
Is it still around, the company?
No.
Okay.
I started looking for another job just when the product didn't got more funding. Yeah.
Okay, and that's how did you find VanHack?
So I started looking for places to go, and I found Canada very appealing, and Toronto especially because it's like this big city where you got like everything that you want, like and yeah, I can't really remember how I found VanHack. Probably searching the web. Yeah.
Okay.
I must come across a VanHack, but this was a year ago, so or more. I don't know how long is VanHack, but I think it was very early.
Okay, and then when did you start applying for jobs?
So I saw VanHack, but didn't really use it, and I only applied to this one job that's the one that I got. And so I applied for a job 2 months ago.
Okay.
A job that Ilya posted on Slack.
This is the first job you applied to?
Yeah.
Okay, and then how long before VanHack contacted you for an interview?
So yeah, I applied, and that afternoon Ilya spoke to me that they wanted to interview me. So we scheduled an interview practice with Julian for that night, and yeah, we practiced how to speak, what to talk about, to focus on the company and like all that.
Okay, so like her advice was to focus on the job and the company and focus your answers towards that.
Yeah, exactly. Like every time, like they asked me about my experience, she said like they're interested in to know your experience, but how your experience applied to this job and this company in particular, not just broad answers. Like,
okay,
so that was really good advice.
Okay, and have you done job interviews with companies outside of Argentina before?
Yeah, I had a job interview. Yeah, I have a couple. I applied for internship. I had interviews for internships in Facebook and other companies. But this was my first job that I got from abroad.
Are you a premium member of VanHack?
Yeah, I was.
So you was a VanHack premium member?
Yeah.
For how long?
For a month. So I started my premium membership like 2 days before I got the interview.
Okay. But guys, you don't need to be a premium member to apply for a job using VanHack. So anybody can apply for a job. If Nicolas was not a premium member, he would still get an interview if he matches the job description. What was the job description? What was the job for?
The job, the description wasn't very precise. It was very broad. So it just stated that this was a IoT startup in Toronto. I think that was pretty much it. So, but it looked good, and it caught my attention. So when I did interview and learn more about the company, I realized like it's a great company. Like the product is amazing. And, yeah.
So your role is it? Are you a full stack developer? Are you an engineer?
I'm a full stack developer. I'm a team leader at the company. Actually, like
how many people are in the company?
I'm the only developer right now at the company. Like the previous CTO just left the company as I joined. So
you're the lead developer now.
Yeah. So and I'm still learning because this company has like 4 years, so it's a big code base.
Again, guys, and everyone, you don't need to be a premium member. I think that some premium members do get jobs because they are more prepared. The premium membership helps you with, your English classes, etc. You can do a resume review. Many premium members get jobs without VanHack. A great example is, what do you call it? It's a developer who's moving to New Zealand, to Auckland. I forget his name now. He's going to get mad if he's looking at this video. But yeah, you don't need to be like, for example, Alexander Alankar is another VanHacker. He's a premium member. He found a job by himself, not through VanHack platform. So premium member gives you some benefits, but definitely you don't need to be a premium member to get a job through VanHack. It just increases your chances. And we do consider non-premium members as well. We just consider anybody who's good enough for the job. And meets the requirements, which is really important. We have some more questions. People want to know about the interview process. So how many people were interviewing you? Were you scared? You were scared?
Yeah, I was scared.
What? I'm never scared in an interview.
No. Yeah, I was, but yeah, everything went really well. I had a call with the CEO of the company and the CTO that was leaving. Okay. Chat briefly with the CEO about my background, and then just talk.
So it was like more like a conversation. Did you say, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
No, nothing like that. It was a brief conversation, like small talk, maybe like for 3 minutes until.
It's like having a beer with your friend.
Yeah, kind of. So it was like this light conversation for 2 or 3 minutes until the CTO joined the call. So at that point, I just talked about my tech background.
So what is your tech background?
So I'm a full stack developer.
And which languages and frameworks have you been using?
JavaScript, Python, Go, a lot of AWS.
Which I think is interesting. From what we've seen in VanHack, most of the jobs in Canada today that are coming up, especially with companies like startups, which are actually open to sponsoring visas, is with web development jobs, full stack JavaScript based. Mm-hmm. And if you have worked with AWS and helped scale a platform, right, that's what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are other jobs as well, but there's a lack of full stack JavaScript developers who have experience with web technologies and web tools, right?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, machine learning also like all around. Like I said, I worked for a startup for 4 years, so I did like everything during that time.
Okay, and did they have a coding interview or anything like that?
No, there was no coding interview. It was just a talk for maybe 30 minutes with the CTO. We discussed like their platform, what I did, how the similarities, like.
So was there similarities between their platform and what you've done before?
Yeah. Actually, like what I've done before. Yeah. Basically, yeah.
So there was similarities?
Yeah. So
was it the languages and the frameworks?
The languages, the frameworks.
So was it JavaScript or was it Python or something like that? Or was it a combination?
Yeah, it's a combination of everything. Like you start having microservices and like one can be like part of the system can be written in JavaScript and then another part in Python, and you end up with this mess basically.
Yeah, so like, and that's something I want to focus on a little bit. Is that so? This company is less than 2 years old.
No, it's more than 2 years old.
More than 2 years old.
Yeah, it has 4 years old, and it's we are 6 people working there.
6 people working there, and so this is another interesting thing, which is how development is changing, right? Mm-hmm. In Canada specifically. So companies are building in different languages and frameworks and using microservices.
Right.
And this is something I'm hearing more and more. Can you tell us a little bit about like how did you get some microservice experience and how do you use it today in your job? And why is it important to use microservices?
So, microservices give you.
Let's start with what is microservices?
Okay, so. Basically, like a microservices is like this function or piece of code, or you can think it as an API endpoint abstracted from the rest of the system that just.
Okay, and you have experience doing that?
Yeah. We did a lot of that in my previous job, and haven't started doing that here, but I'm still like getting into the actual. I'm getting still used to all the code base. But when I started, they gave me like this new project to work on that was really exciting. It used like machine learning, big data. It was really fun. And now that that's all wrapped up, I'm starting to get into like the core
of the product.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you did the interview in November?
In November, yeah.
And you got the job offer within like a few days or something?
The same day. So this was like
wow.
Like a Tuesday afternoon, and like an hour or two after, Ilya contacted me saying we got an offer.
Yeah, I think you might have been the fastest hire in VanHack history.
Yeah, I think like it's something like that.
So like maybe like 2 days, 1 day.
Yeah, so from the from getting the interview till the accepting the offer was 1 day or less than 1 day.
Okay, and then they applied for the global skills visa.
Yeah. So
how long did that process take once you accepted the offer?
So I accepted the offer, and it took them like 2 weeks to apply for the visa. So they had to do the LMIA, I believe it is.
So they applied. It took them 2 weeks, and then they gave you an approved LMIA.
Yeah. So it took them 2 weeks to basically prepare all the papers and start the application, and from that point it was another 2 weeks until they get the letter from the government saying like they were approved. During that time I
Did you start already working for them?
Yeah, I started. After the interview, like after 3 weeks, I started working for them.
So you gave notice at your old company,
Yeah.
and then you started after 3 weeks,
exactly.
and you were working remote to start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I worked remote for a month until I came here. During that time, I basically collected all my papers. My college transcript, got that translated. Went to the doctor that you need to get.
Your medical results.
The medical checkup that Canada requires.
Okay.
So I did that. Can't remember if I did anything else.
So this is important to. I just want to take a thing and mention that right now I'm doing the sponsorship for someone who's moving to Waterloo from Brazil.
Yeah.
And doing the application, and he's waiting for 5 days for his medical results, 5 or 6 days.
Right.
And if you have your university certificate already done and your medical result, if you have an idea of how to do it, that could have been faster, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I had all this done before they got approved. So once they got approved,
you just turned it in right away.
Yeah, a day after I applied.
And you applied online?
I applied online. Yeah.
Okay.
It was like that website doesn't work well on either like Safari or Chrome. Like I think that it's coded for Internet Explorer, because when I went to do the medical exam, the lady there was using Internet Explorer and saying that this is the browser that they recommend us to use. So
we don't want to talk about the Canadian government's website in case they're watching. But
a lot of frustrations there.
I'm from India. I applied for my PR. I got my PR last year.
Oh.
And the amount of hours I've spent on that website is great.
Because it crashes all the time. Like I don't know. It's non-deterministic. You don't know where you're gonna end up when you click back about. Like the same button takes you to different pages.
We have one more question here. Did you have to do a language test? Did you have to do an IELTS before you applied for your Global Talent Stream? So you did not do an IELTS exam to apply for your sponsored work visa?
No, I didn't have to.
Okay. How long did it take after you turned it in? So you got a job?
Yeah.
So let's go with the timeline. Monday, you applied for the job.
Yeah.
Tuesday, you did the job interview, and Tuesday night, you got the job offer.
Right.
2 weeks later, they gave you the LMIA.
Yeah.
So VanHack helped the company with the LMIA, and then 2 weeks later, they gave you the LMIA, and then you applied within 24 hours online for your visa.
Yeah.
And during that time, you had already done your medical checkup, and you had already done your degree validation.
Yeah, so not validation, I got it translated from Spanish to English. Basically.
From Spanish to English. So you had all your documents together, you submitted within 24 hours online.
Yeah.
Okay, and then how long did it take for them to get back to you and ask you for your passport?
2 weeks or a day short of 2 weeks.
Okay, so they asked you to give us your passport within 10 working days.
Yeah, they asked me to bring the passport, so yeah.
And so you went to the Canadian Embassy in Buenos Aires?
Not the Canadian Embassy, it's this...
Visa Foreign Service?
The Visa Service Office.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gave them your passport, and then you got your passport back in 2 days?
So I gave them my passport a Friday and got it back on next Tuesday.
Okay, so within 3 weeks...
Yeah.
Oh no, 4 weeks after your job offer, 4.5 weeks, you got your passport back with the visa.
Yeah.
And so now it was December something?
No. So I think it took them longer to start the application because I got this
information like 6 weeks totally.
Right, something like that, because this was middle of January. So,
and you got your passport back middle of January?
Yeah, exactly.
And this time you'd already said bye to your family?
Yeah. And so...
And like the beautiful summer in Buenos Aires was starting?
Oh, it was in the middle of the summer. It was, So yeah, during that weekend when I turned my passport, I asked them how long would it take. They told me like Tuesday or Wednesday, and yeah, I asked them like if I could like buy my ticket for like next week, and they said yeah, definitely. So next Sunday I was on a plane here to Toronto.
And so how did you find a place to stay and rent? And because you're working. So guys, I'm in Toronto right now. I just moved here to help VanHackers find more jobs in Toronto. And Nicolas is working maybe 1 or 2 streets from me.
Yeah, 3 streets.
So we're in downtown Toronto on Spadina.
Yeah, Spadina and Queen.
Spadina and Queen. And so where do you live now? Where did you find a place to stay?
So when I got here, I stayed at an Airbnb for 3 weeks.
How was it expensive?
Yeah, it is expensive. Like Toronto in general is expensive. And yeah, during that time, I started looking for places to move in. It's hard to find a place if you don't have a credit history.
Yeah,
I learned that.
so you need references.
Yeah, I need references.
Credit history,
which I don't have. So
yeah.
I had to add. I had to prepay a lot more of.
Because they do first months and last months.
Yeah, but I ended up paying a couple more months because I didn't have a credit history.
Okay, because in Toronto, not all places in Canada, but in Toronto. When you find a place to stay, you have to pay first month's rent and last month's rent.
Exactly.
And you had to pay extra.
I had to pay another 4 months. So I paid 6 months in advance of my 1 year rent.
Wow.
Because of the lack of...
Did the company give you some signing bonus or something?
No, but they helped me with this. Yeah, they gave me an advance for
the rent.
For the rent, exactly. They helped me with that.
That's good. And are you living somewhere in Toronto?
Yeah, I'm living here in Liberty Village.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice.
This is where all the young people live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. It's this big condo.
Yeah. And how much is your rent right now?
It's about 1,900.
Wow.
It is expensive.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. But
is it 1 bedroom?
Yeah, 1 bedroom.
So you're living alone in Toronto?
Yeah, I'm living alone.
Okay, so Liberty Village. So you're within 20-minute walk from here?
Yeah, 25, 30 minutes. But with this cold, I usually take the streetcar.
Okay, the streetcar. Cool. And now you've been working in Toronto now for almost 3 weeks, a month?
A month, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Got here, January 17th. No, 3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, and you work. The company has had some changes since you came here as well. You said your CTO left, and now you're helping lead the development.
He left a couple of weeks before I got here. So,
okay.
Yeah. So taking over development.
And are you hiring developers? The VanHackers want to know.
Eventually, yeah.
Okay.
I think that they're planning to expand the development team this year.
Okay, I have to meet the CEO and get the jobs. If anyone has any more questions, we'll start doing some questions now. Ilya will also be joining us in the next 15 minutes, I think, 10 minutes. So no IELTS is necessary if you're being sponsored by a company with the Global Talent Stream. VanHack does not need a freelance translator because we recommend that you speak English and you learn English and you write your own resume in English. So I really recommend, we always force people to speak English in VanHack. And then you relocated to Canada?
Yeah.
From
Buenos Aires. Yeah.
From Buenos Aires in Argentina.
Yeah.
So you lived in Buenos Aires until January 15th, something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Are you a permanent resident, or what visa are you on right now?
I'm on temporary work permit.
Temporary work permit? Is it tied to the company that you work for?
Yeah. So when you do the visa, they put you this visa on the passport, and that's not your work permit. That's just the visa. And the first time you enter Canada, you have to present the papers again to the officer at the border, and like they inspect this again, and they issue your work permit at that point. So the visa is not tied to the company, but the work permit that I got, which is like it's this paper that you need also to
To work in Canada.
To work in Canada, and if you want to leave and enter again, like you need your visa and your work permit to enter Canada again.
So the visa is a temporary resident visa,
yeah,
and it's valid for how long?
for 2 years.
For 2 years.
Yeah.
And then your work permit is also valid for 2 years,
Exactly.
but it's tied to the company you work for.
Exactly.
Okay, so in case, let's say, in 1 year, the company for some reason says, okay, Nicolas, we don't have any money left. We can't raise any money like your old company. And then you say, okay, in that case, you still can come and go from Canada, but you have to apply for a new work permit. Is that correct?
I'm not sure.
Well, that's how it works. So, okay, so so if you apply with the Global Talent Stream, you get a visa for 2 years, and then you get a work permit tied to the company.
Right.
That's right. Okay. Do you have your work on GitHub or anything like that already? Like, did the company take a look at your projects? Or did you just have a good conversation?
Yeah, we had a great conversation. Like we just clicked. Yeah,
okay.
it was a great conversation.
Which is, I think that's important. Like it's about connecting. Like I work for VanHack, but I met Ilya for a cup of coffee.
Right.
And
like
we met and we chatted. Like
when it's right, like you're like.
Yeah, which is not always, like bigger companies do, they do a lot of process. Right. But even at the end of the day, like your technical skills is not the most important thing. It's that you can work with this person and this team. Right. And you have similar experiences, like you guys work on similar projects before.
Similar projects, passion for like startup, environment, all that. Like that's something that they really like, that I had experience working at startups.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Does anyone have any more questions for Nicolas? Maybe Nicolas, how does it feel to be in Toronto?
It feels cold.
Do you have any friends here already? Except for me. But...
No, not yet. But
okay.
It'll be like soon enough.
Okay. And your coworkers, like, what's the workplace culture like here compared to say Argentina? Is it different?
I wouldn't say that's that different. It's a regular office. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
And is it easy? I know that in Brazil, or I don't know how Argentina is, but in Brazil or in India, it's really easy to meet new people because everyone, you move into a new apartment and your neighbors are looking at you. Is that like that in Argentina, where you can talk to people very easily?
Yeah.
Is it like that in Toronto? I know it's different, but maybe.
Yeah, I think it's like that too. Like when you move in, like all neighbors come when they see you, they say hi, and that's good.
Okay, cool. And have you been mostly coding since you got here?
Yeah, I was coding, getting a place, furnishing a place because like I had a place with nothing.
Where did you buy the furniture?
IKEA.
IKEA, okay.
Yeah. So I just finished all that, so now I can start relaxing and going out on weekends.
Oh, okay. Can you tell me a little bit about, have you met any other VanHackers here in Toronto? Did you talk to anybody?
No, not really.
Okay, are you part of the VanHackers in Toronto Slack channel?
No, I didn't know that there was one.
Okay.
I got to get there.
We have to do a better job of promoting that. Hi, Ashraf. Hello, and Tanar. What do you think? Why do you think they chose you? You applied. Why do you think Ilya called you, or you applied for this job and you were a good fit?
Yeah.
Did they interview other people as well?
Yeah, they interviewed. I think it took them a long time, and they used several other companies until they found me. Yeah, like I
Do
said,
you think it was the startup
it
experience?
was a startup experience, and I don't know, like I felt passionate about the product. I really liked their product, and I think that they felt that I really liked what they were doing, and that was what they were looking for. Someone to not just go come and work, but someone who wants to build this product with them.
Okay, cool. Does anyone else have any questions? Do you have any questions for the VanHackers?
I don't know, like not really.
Okay. 1 second. I think Ilya wanted us to wait for him to join. Come on, audience questions. Do you have any questions about? What is your VanHack profile?
My VanHack profile, it's.
Did you fill it out?
It has like a slash something or like.
Yeah, let's see if we can find your VanHack profile. We can maybe share it with the VanHackers. So this is they can't see my screen, but this is the admin side.
Okay.
What's your email?
Nistal, Nistal, Nicolas at Gmail. Go.
I don't think we can share your profile.
Damn it.
Maybe we can share your LinkedIn. No, cannot. It's a good resume.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, how would you rate your skills compared to the job description? Did you match most of the skills they were looking for?
Yeah, I matched most of the skills. Not
it's like on a 1 to 10.
Not everything. Only 7.
Okay.
Yeah, because like it's.
So it's really the passion, right?
Yeah, it's very hard to find I think for them also, like it's really hard for a company find this a fit when you are looking for someone that knows like all these specific technologies. So they were looking for someone who knows like IoT, AWS, Go, Python, JavaScript, Node, microservices. Like it's this huge list of things that they're doing, and like.
That's so hard.
It's impossible for them to find someone, but like I guess for a company it needs to find the right profile in a person and someone who wants to learn like what's missing.
And so like companies, they do lots of interviews, right? Like you're saying the company you work for, they did maybe like 30, 40 interviews before they found you.
I don't know how many.
But many.
Yeah.
They were waiting for a few months to find someone with your profile.
Yeah.
And they rejected people who did not meet the profile they were looking for.
I don't have that. I don't know. Like, I don't
well, you're the only developer, so yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. No, I'm the reason I'm saying is I know I'm making it like, I don't want to make it seem like you're the perfect person, but for every company is they're looking for somebody with the skills, with the experience, but they're also looking for somebody who matches what the company's goals and your goals as well, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you didn't know all the skills they wanted, but you're able to learn because you understand their problem that they're tackling very well, and you're passionate about it. What is the problem specifically that they're tackling?
So they're doing live
analytics.
Yeah, live real world analytics. That's how you would describe it. So they build this sensor, so it's like a modem, and it has like battery, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, like all these capabilities that companies that it's mostly used in fairs like auto shows, job fairs, When companies have a booth, they don't really have a way to tell how well that event went. Like how
like in a conference, like
yeah,
people are like
conference.
looking at the images that they're showing and are actually excited or interested.
Like you don't know how many people went through your booth in the conference, like how long they stayed there, all that information. So with this device, it listens for Wi-Fi signals that come from phones, and with that it builds analytics basically. So the presenters can know how many people were there, like the impressions, the conversions. So you can define like an impression is someone who walked around 10 meters of the booth, and if that person came and stayed for more than 5 minutes in a 2-meter radius,
Their engagement.
That's engagement, and so you have like a conversion, and you can measure those things. Well, there's actually a lot more data that then you can infer from the signal. So, like we are able to give demographics, statistics on the people that were there just from their phones without them even knowing.
Wow.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Yeah, it's
really cool.
Yeah, it's amazingly cool. It's super exciting.
And and now you're the only developer. How many hours a week are you working?
Working 40
hours?
40 for now. That's
okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of this product has already been made?
Yeah, so the product is, the product is live. It's been live for like a year or two. They're doing really well. They have lots of clients. So it's good. Now we're like expanding the vision of like where this can be.
And is a large part of what you're working on now is more of the analytics-based web interface and that kind of stuff, like helping the clients leverage a lot of the data that's coming through?
Yeah, so I built this service that grabs all this data, maybe like...
So a lot of Python?
Yeah, a lot of Python, machine learning. The input for one of these scripts was like, it's like 100 million entries of Wi-Fi signals, so it's amazing.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
And just to answer some more questions that they're asking, the company did not give you any money for relocation, but they have given you an advance on your salary for your rent deposit.
Exactly.
Okay. And did you have any international experience before this, or did you only work, like you worked for some companies that were working with the American market? Right,
yeah. In the middle, I work for companies remotely from Argentina, companies from the US and Canada.
Okay. And Ilya is back. Hi, Ilya.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. I just wanted to say hi. I'll let you guys keep going, but continue, please. Just want to say.
Do you want to join in? Like, maybe you have some questions as well.
Well, I don't know what you guys have covered, so sorry for you guys. I had to join late on the call. But no, I mean, I guess how's Toronto? Not too cold.
Oh, it's cold in here.
Yeah.
It's very cold.
It's really cold.
Did you do like some kind of codility test or anything when you joined VanHack? Like a coding test?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
okay.
I did one coding test.
Did you send the coding test to the company?
No. So what happened is I had the call with the company, and then 5 minutes later I sent Nick's resume. And then about 5 minutes after that, they replied saying they want to interview him, which they did the next morning. And then half an hour after the call, they gave him an offer. So with 24 hours from first conversation with the company and first kind of interview book to hire. So yeah, very, very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool.
I couldn't believe it.
Wow. Like that's like, is that the fastest hire in VanHack history?
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely the fastest hire we've ever had. We had another one that was 48 hours, but not that fast. Yeah.
Okay, and we talked about the company, and the company does the sponsorship. We talked about his visa. He has a temporary resident visa for 2 years. The processing time was 4 weeks. Was there any difficulties when you came here? Like, what was it like to leave? Now you're in Canada.
Well, you have to leave your family, your friends behind. That's hard, obviously. I don't know, just...
Are there other, like in the building and the office shared space that you're working in, are there other developers from other countries there?
No, so in the office that I'm sharing, I'm the only developer there. So
Okay.
yeah, they're like salespeople.
Okay. And like, what are the hours like? Like everyone comes at like 10 in the morning?
Yeah, between 9 and 10 until 6 p.m. So yeah, it's like a regular job, I guess.
Okay. And how many years of experience did you have? 4, right? Before this?
Yeah.
4 or 5 years?
4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Very intense years. Like there were years that I worked like 60 hours a week, maybe. So like
those 4 years.
Yeah,
because you were working on a startup. Right?
Yeah. So you can those 4 years. I guess they work like 6 years of 40-hour week.
Yeah, because and if you think about your experience, you're working like you've worked in Golang, you worked in Python, you've done like some machine learning stuff, which you're doing now. You've experienced in JavaScript, front end as well, maybe a little bit of React here and there,
Docker,
Kubernetes,
all that good stuff.
AWS, like all the buzzwords that everyone likes to say. So you're a full stack developer, a DevOps person, and front end developer.
Nicolas, we need to clone you.
Like, can you do sales as well?
No. That's what.
We need to clone you. Just like create more. Find or like clone you. We need to clone you.
We need to create another version of Nicolas. Yeah, I think there's like about 84 Nicolases on the call with us. Now we're talking about the skills that companies are looking for. And then, what about the benefits and stuff? The company, is there benefits? Are they giving you money to learn? Are you going to any meetups? What is that like being in Toronto now?
Yeah, I'm going. I haven't been to a meetup because
you're busy with. You just got here 1 month ago.
Yeah, but I schedule I have a big data meetup next week, and the other week I'm going to a React meetup. So there's a lot of meetups here. That's really good. That's something that I really like about Toronto. Benefits from the company. I don't know, like dental.
Okay.
Actually, one thing is you're actually going to be getting some stock in the company too, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm getting equity. Yeah.
Okay, and is that something that motivated you, like when you're looking, because you worked in startups before?
Yeah.
So having some kind of equity portion.
Yeah, it's like.
So you're making less salary than you would normally?
Yeah, so they basically offered me 2 options, an option with more salary and less equity, and another option with less salary and more equity. I went for less salary and more equity, and that's something that they also really like.
Because it shows that you believe in the business.
Yeah, you believe in the business, and it's also more motivating, and it's more pleasurable, like working in something that it's also yours, not that just you're working for some company that.
And so that for the company must have shown that you're not just a good developer, but you're passionate about what they're doing.
Right. Yeah.
And then, there's no traveling in your position. Another question.
No.
Do you see yourself working for this company for some more years?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Have you used the product? Have you been to any of the?
You can't use it.
Have you been to anywhere where it's being used, to a conference or meeting?
So it's being used all over. If you know, a lot of events that happen here in downtown Toronto.
So is it most of the clients are in Toronto? No.
No, I don't think so. There are a lot of in Toronto, but they're all over. Mostly the US and Canada.
Okay. Cool.
Did you guys talk about the interview?
I'm sorry?
Did you talk about the interview?
Yeah, we
talked about it too.
Okay.
Cool. Maybe people have more questions. I think we're almost at the end. We can do a couple more questions. Do you speak Portuguese?
No.
So even I don't speak Portuguese. So VanHack is truly I was surprised when I met you and I said, where are you from? And you said Argentina. And then the VanHackers will forgive you. It's okay. But we have some more questions from Ramon. Ramon is already talking about renting. Yeah, so do you think that it's only 3 weeks since you came here?
Yeah.
Do you think it's hard to be here compared to Argentina?
No, I don't. It's life, I guess. The hard part is just being alone and far away from home, just someday and start building everything again.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave your family, friends, your stuff, and I got here with 2 suitcases and that was it, on my computer.
Wow. Yeah, we talked about it earlier. He's living in Liberty Village, which is where all the young, happening people in Toronto live.
Yeah, I know where that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. I live near there. I live in Parkdale.
Oh.
So I live in Queen West.
When I was in Toronto, I used to go to Liberty Village a lot. I remember it when it was still being constructed. In 2011, I was there, and a lot of my friends had places there, and it's a cool spot.
Yeah, it's a cool spot.
Yeah, so he's living in Liberty Village. I think it's west of downtown, a little bit west, and northwest of downtown.
Southwest. Yeah, it's
near the water.
Yeah, it's pretty close to water. It's right next to Exhibition Place.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
cool.
The soccer field is right next to it.
It's near the Toronto FC soccer field.
Yeah,
it's not really soccer. It's not really football.
Yeah.
You a football fan?
Sometimes.
Only when Messi's playing.
Yeah, exactly.
One question here about the visa. Did you have to do your West? Did you have to get your diploma translated, or did you have to get your degree certified? How was that? What documents did you need to give for the visa? Because did you have to do an English exam, anything like that?
I translated my degree. I didn't have to validate it.
So you didn't have to get it certified?
No, because it's not a regulated position here in Canada, so they don't really care.
Yeah,
it's not like you're a doctor and they need to.
Yeah.
Also did my medical exams and that was it.
And
I also needed a recommendation letter.
From your previous employer?
From previous employers, yeah.
So this is under the portion where they say, please submit supporting documents for the job to show that you can do the job.
Yeah, pay stubs as well.
Okay. So which is what you will need for an express entry application is kind of similar.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's the proof of experience they call it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And did they have any questions about your documents with the government?
No, I just submitted that, and 2 weeks after, got an email saying like there's an update on your application. Got really nervous, tried to access the site. Took me like 10 or 15 minutes to access it.
If anybody from the Canadian government is watching, you have made it hard enough for our VanHackers to apply for a visa. It's great. Now we know it's only the ones with Internet Explorer who can do it.
Yeah. So yeah, I got there, and there was this message saying that bring your passport to the visa office with that letter. It was like an invitation letter to.
It's cool, and there's a question. Age doesn't matter. I think Ilya's answering it. I just want to touch on that. It's like what I can learn from your experience is it's not age. It's what experience that's important. For him, he got a job with a startup here, and you're good with web technologies, and you've built systems that have scaled in web technologies. Yeah. And that's something, in my experience, talking to companies, that's exactly what they want. We are in the age of software and modern web technologies, and if you're able to build and scale systems, on AWS or Azure or whatever, that's what companies are looking for. Sometimes there's a mix. You can get lucky. You worked on some IoT stuff, with taking the picture and there's like a little bit of IoT work you've done before, which came into for this job. But some of the other experience you can get no matter where in the world you are, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. So I think we should probably wrap it up here, just because I know Ash, you and I have to run, and Nicolas probably needs to go home and get some food or something. But yeah, thanks everyone for participating.
Yeah, I know. I've been really asking you lots of. Thank you, Nicolas, for joining us.
Thank you.
Asking me so many questions.
It was a good conversation.
But yeah, and if you have any questions about jobs in Toronto, you can shoot me a message, VanHack-Ash.
Yeah, and also make sure you apply to jobs on our website. Apply to be verified VanHacker, and we'll definitely get you hired in Canada, and Europe, Australia, all over the world.
Yeah, right now we have jobs in 9 different countries right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but thanks for joining us, Nicolas.
Thank you for coming. Thank you, Ilya.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll do another maybe short video with you in your new office sometime.
Yeah, sure.
Once you're more settled.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe we'll grab a beer. Like, I'm also new to Toronto.
Yeah. We should.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ilya.
See you guys soon.
See you at the next webinar.